NoDQ Galaxy, we are live with a recap of Monday Night Raw, the final live Monday Night Raw for Monday, December 19th, 2022. Next Monday will be a best of 2022 edition of Raw, and then January 2nd will be the next live Monday Night Raw. Shout out to the early birds, CC Drink, Michael Wayne, Matt Helms, D. Martin Fifth, Darren G, Next Stage Arcade, Calvin Bowman, Don Bowing. Thank you all for tuning in early. I appreciate it. Now, let's get into Raw. We kicked off the show backstage with Paul Heyman introducing Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns cut a promo, said that Raw is the home of Kevin Owens. SmackDown is not KO's home, yet KO continues to go to SmackDown, trying to cause trouble. Reigns said that Owens will need more than John Cena to stop him. Reigns said that Owens will need the whole locker room, and that led to a clip of the Bloodline in another backstage area beating up Mustafa Ali, and this was the start of the Bloodline's rampage on Monday Night Raw. We had our first match of the evening, the Street Profits with Tozawa in their corner against Damian Priest and Finn Balor from Judgment Day. Rhea Ripley and Dominic were out there. Dominic had sunglasses on to sell the mist to the face. Last week, we had a clip during this match of Andre Chase from NXT being attacked. He was part of main event this week. He was attacked by the Bloodline, as was Elias. And you had Solo Sikoa smashing the guitar into the back of Elias. Then back to the match. Pretty basic stuff here. They worked over Montez Ford, and then Dawkins got a hot tag. Then Priest hit the South of Heaven to Dawkins. However, Dawkins did manage to tag in Ford right before that. And then Dominic got on the apron. Tozawa threw his drink at Dominic, and I think he was intending to throw it at Rhea Ripley, but she ducked down and Dominic got it. And while all this was going on, Ford rolled up Priest, or maybe Balor, one of them, and got the win. Afterwards, Rhea Ripley slapped Tozawa and then challenged him to a match. And he did accept the match. After the commercial break, we had the match. Intergender match, which we've seen Tozawa rolling up Dana Brooke and stuff like that, but it's not too often we see a one-on-one man versus woman match on WWE television. It just doesn't happen too frequently, but it did here. Although it was interesting because Rhea Ripley basically dominated the match, and when Tozawa started to come back in the match, he really had no offense. He countered a power bomb with a Hurricane Rana, basically a defensive move, and then Finn Balor tripped him. The Street Profits then came over the top with a dive onto Judgment Day, and then Tozawa avoided Riptide, and then Rhea Ripley charged at him. He moved, and she hit the ring post. He then went for the senton, but missed, and then Rhea Ripley hit the Riptide to pick up the win. Like I said, Tozawa really hit no offensive moves on Rhea Ripley. They were really careful about that, I feel like, in terms of not having Tozawa actually physically do anything to Rhea Ripley in the match. He dodged moves, he countered moves defensively. So they were cautious with that. And we'll see if they decide to do more in the future as far as these intergender matches go. Rhea Ripley definitely given the China vibe, getting in there, mixing it up with the men, and we'll see if they keep that going. David Estevez sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, David. I appreciate it. Says, every time I missed Raw, I thank Aaron to catch me up. Been watching since 2010. Thanks. I very much appreciate that, David. I appreciate you tuning in for all this time. And to everybody else out there, whether you've been watching for 10 years or 1 year or 1 day, thank you all so much. And if you enjoy this video, please share it. Spread the word. Tell a friend about the channel. It would be very much appreciated. Moving on here, we had a recap of what happened with Bobby Lashley being fired by Adam Pearce, and then Adam Pearce was interviewed, and he said that he had a private talk with Bobby Lashley and hopes he'll be back soon. Then MVP approached Adam Pearce, wanted to talk about something, but a referee quickly ran in and said that they needed Pearce's immediate attention. And as it turns out, Dolph Ziggler, Cedric Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin were all attacked backstage by the Bloodline. I liked this because it felt very much like an old school NWO takeover of the show, where the NWO was just beating people up, leaving them laying. And that's what the Bloodline was doing here. I really enjoyed it. It was a nice change of pace. The Bloodline trying to eliminate anybody that could potentially help out Kevin Owens. I thought this was a good storyline. We had the OC versus the Alpha Academy in a tag team match. Crowd was very much into Otis, and WWE was in Des Moines, Iowa. Otis is not from Iowa. He's from Duluth, Minnesota, I believe. So I'm not sure why they were so into Otis, but they were chanting his name. They popped big when he tagged in, and it was another standard tag team match. They worked over Anderson and Gallows. Things started to break down after a hot tag, and then Otis got sent into the ring post. Gallows, he avoided Chad Gable's moonsault, and they hit the Magic Killer to pick up the 1-2-3 victory. And then afterwards, the Bloodline showed up again. They attacked the OC, hit a couple of 1Ds, and left everybody laying. And then after the break, they cut a promo. Adam Pearce and security came down. Adam Pearce was trying to get them to leave the ring. Sami Zayn cut a brief promo, talked about how the only person angry is Adam Pearce. The fans love the Bloodline, he said, and they run the business. And coming up December 30th on SmackDown, they will defeat John Cena and Kevin Owens. Then they took their leave. They were walking up by the stage, and that's when AJ Styles attacked Sami Zayn, trying to get some payback. Security broke them up, and then backstage, Adam Pearce set up a match, AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. More on that in a few. We had a sit-down interview with the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, and Alexa Bliss, her challenger, and that match will take place on the December 2nd Raw. Like I said earlier, no live Raw next week. They're doing a best of 2022, which means I'm not going to be here for the live stream, but I will be back. It'll be nice to take a little Christmas weekend break from the live streams, but if you guys missed it, I did do a 1 hour plus no DQ&A video that is up on the channel with timestamps for all the super chat questions. So if there's a specific topic, I have a timestamp list with all the super chat questions. Check that video out if you missed it. And yes, I'll be back. We got the No DQ review coming up this week, and then December 30th, SmackDown, January 2nd, Monday Night Raw. So the sit down segment here, Bianca Belair said she basically doesn't trust Alexa Bliss after that little Sister Abigail tease. Bianca was upset, and Alexa brought up Bray Wyatt, said how he abducted her, took everything away from her, and then she went to therapy, and all that did was turn her into a shell of her former self. She said that Bray Wyatt is not a threat to her, but she is. And then she grabbed a vase and smashed it over the head of Bianca Belair. So I guess that's a heel turn for Alexa Bliss. Definitely something that a babyface would not do leading into a match, a cheap shot like that. I'm not expecting Alexa Bliss to win the title. Stranger things have happened, but I feel like Alexa is just a placeover or a placeholder for Bianca Belair until the Royal Rumble. Maybe they do a rematch at the Royal Rumble. We'll have to wait and see. Moving on here, we had a ladder match with a lot of money on the line. Double or nothing. Not AEW, but Miz's money and Dexter Lumis's money put up at the top above the ladder. And it was an okay ladder match. Nothing too great or anything. Kind of slow paced. Not one of those spectacle ladder matches where guys are doing tons of moves. It was just a slower paced match. And Lumis did get Miz up on the top. And while standing on the ladder, Lumis hit a big superplex. And then he dropped the ladder right by the Miz. And Miz was in the corner, legs spread out. Lumis then kicked the ladder into the Miz's balls. So we got the comedy spot there. And then after the break, Lumis got him in the vice grip, but Miz escaped to the outside. Miz hit Lumis with a neck breaker on the apron and then buried Lumis in the ladders and chairs. Johnny Gargano was out there at ringside. Miz ended up shoving Gargano, attacked him, hit him with a ladder, sent him over the barricade, putting him out of the equation. And then Lumis, while this was going on, was able to recover. Lumis laid out Miz on the announce table, climbed up the ladder, jumped off with a leg drop, but he missed. Miz was able to move out of the way. Lumis crashed through the table. Crowd was chanting, "Holy shit." It was getting bleeped, of course. And then back in the ring, Miz climbed up the ladder. However, Lumis got back up, got back in, sent Miz off the ladder, and then was on the verge of winning the match. And that's when we got the return of Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is back in WWE, the latest person to be rehired under the Triple H era. A lot of guys and gals in 2022 were brought back. Bronson Reed is the latest. Looks like he's the Miz's new heavy. He grabbed the Miz. Well, before that, he hit the big tsunami top rope splash onto Lumis, and then he helped Miz climb the ladder. Miz grabbed the money. Miz victorious. Merry Christmas for the Miz. He gets all of his money. And Bronson Reed, Merry Christmas for him too. He's got his job back, and he's now on the main roster, which, to be fair, he should have gotten the chance back in the day, over a year ago, and they never did anything with him. So happy for the guy, but I do feel like WWE is really pushing it with all these signings and just bloating the roster. It's been a problem with both companies. AEW was quick to sign every main person that got cut, and even some lesser people. And now WWE is bringing back every name in the book. So yeah, it's going to be tough to get all these people showcased and put into prominent positions. And another interesting thing was that John Morrison was trending on Twitter. People were complaining, wanting to see John Morrison brought back if you're going to bring back somebody for The Miz. I mean, Bronson Reed will be different because with Morrison, he's more of a comedic sidekick. With Bronson Reed, he's an actual heavy. He can be the muscle for The Miz. The Miz is a trash talker, and now he's got this tough, big, intimidating dude to watch his back and take care of business when it needs to be taken care of. So I like that they're changing it up a little bit. If they brought Morrison back, same old thing, not really anything new you can do with it. Next up, we had AJ Styles versus Sami Zayn. Good match here with these two, as you would expect from them. Sami Zayn quickly going to the outside, but he got hit with the forearm. AJ came over the top, and then Styles got him back in the ring, tried to hit the phenomenal forearm, but Sami Zayn avoided it. Sami Zayn got the upper hand for a while, and he hit a brain buster, but Styles kicked out of that. And then Styles avoided the haluva kick, put on the calf crusher, but Sami was able to get to the ropes. And then Solo Sikoa came down through the crowd. And then Solo hit AJ with the Samoan spike while the referee was distracted. And then Sami Zayn, after the Samoan spike was hit, he hit the Blue Thunder Bomb and did not get the win. I'm kidding. He got the win. He actually won with the Blue Thunder Bomb. I'm not shitting you. The Blue Thunder Bomb won for maybe the second time in history. I'm speechless. Game is on 100 said it best. Sami Zayn won by the Blue Thunder Bomb. Wow. He gave the thumbs down. But hey, the Samoan spike is really what did it. But still, Blue Thunder Bomb won the match. On the official WWE record book, in the official record book, it will say Sami Zayn won the match with the Blue Thunder Bomb. History has been made. And I guess there's some free girls in your city. We will block that person because I'm guessing they're not free. Psycho Jet Black with a $2 super chat says, do you think Triple H will ever bring back EC3? That is one guy I do not see coming back. Considering the things that he's said online, I just don't see it happening. I feel like he was more of a Vince guy. Yes, he did come in to the black and gold brand. I'm not really sure what happened with him, but I don't think he's at the top of the list. He's not that guy that was getting the photos with Triple H and that sort of thing. Bronson Reed, like Triple H was always posting photos with him. When Bronson won the North American title, Triple H was hugging him and all that stuff. He was a Triple H guy, Bronson Reed. EC3, I'm not really sure. Walter Cruz sent in $5 in a super chat. Thank you for that. He says, say yes to NoDQ. Like, share the video, feel merchy, and visit nodq.com/merch. Hashtag stick to my shtick, and holy Blue Thunder Bomb won a match. Thanks, Solo. Thank you, Solo Sikoa, for making the Blue Thunder Bomb the finisher of the week. We had Seth freaking Rollins come into the ring for a promo. And he brought up his upcoming United States title opportunity against Austin Theory in 2 weeks, January 2nd. But then he brought up Roman Reigns, how Mondays do not belong to Roman. They belong to Seth freaking Rollins. Austin Theory, the current United States champion, arrived, and he said nothing belongs to Rollins because the champ is here. Using John Cena's line, another possible clue for WrestleMania, Theory said that Rollins will be passing the torch, like it or not. And then Rollins responded by saying that Theory will never be him, not on his level. Then Theory, with a low blow here, not a literal one, but a figurative one, said that that Rollins has fumbled the ball just like the Chicago Bears. And not only that, but Theory said that Rollins is the third most successful member of the Shield. Ouch. Although CM Punk used that same line on Jon Moxley leading up to All Out. So not exactly an original line, just using a different member for the line. And then Seth Rollins said the man makes the title. He's the damn mountain top. He's Mount Everest. And he wanted a match with Theory right there. But then all of a sudden the bloodline showed up to crash the party. Rollins said to Theory, let's put our differences aside for a moment. But Theory took his title and ran away. Left Rollins all by himself. Kevin Owens made the save and then issued a challenge for the main event. Owens teaming up with Rollins against the Usos, and the match was set up by one Adam Pearce. And then backstage, we had Becky Lynch cutting a promo, talking about how she's ready, whether it's one-on-one or one-on-three. It was Becky Lynch versus Bayley. Damage Control was out there. A good match with them, as you would expect. I think it was their first match in like 4 years. Becky out-wrestled Bayley early on, and Io Sky attempted a cheap shot, but Becky caught her. However, Bayley was able to capitalize on that. And then Becky started to make a comeback after the commercial break, hit a big leg drop, but Bayley kicked out. Bayley came back with a Bayley to belly, but Becky kicked out of that. And then Bayley tried to win using her feet on the ropes, but the referee caught her. And then Becky, she was going to go for the manhandle slam. You had Damage Control pull her outside to safety. Referee decided to kick them out. And as this was happening, Bayley grabbed a monitor from ringside and hit Becky Lynch with it. Referee turned around. Bayley hit the rose plant, got the 1-2-3 victory. So yes, Bayley does pick up a win here. Very good match with them. Caleb said 2019 was the last Bayley and Becky Lynch match. I'll take your word for that, Caleb. Backstage, Kevin Owens had a conversation with Seth Rollins and brought up how earlier this year Rollins tried to steal the Steve Austin WrestleMania spot. But besides that, they're cool. They're ready to take care of business. And we had our main event, baby faces, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. Quite the difference from a year ago, going up against the Usos. And the brawl started right before the bell rang. Eventually, order was restored. They worked over Owens for a while. The Usos did. Rollins got a hot tag, hit a double cross body off the top. Owens tagged back in, hit the big frog splash, but Jimmy Uso kicked out, and then he went for a swanton. Jimmy got his knees up. Solo Sikoa arrived again to try and cause havoc yet again, but Anderson and Gallows showed up and attacked him. Rollins then hit a big dive onto everyone, hit the curb stop to Jey Uso on the floor, and then Austin Theory came in and hit Rollins with the title, the United States title. Back in the ring, Jimmy Uso hit a super kick. Owens kicked out of it. Owens and Jimmy went back and forth, but then Owens was able to hit the pop-up powerbomb and picked up the 1-2-3 victory. Good main event here, and I liked the chaotic feel of it and the overall chaotic vibe of the show with the Usos and Solo and Sami Zayn causing havoc. Afterwards, Sami Zayn tried to sneak into the ring and possibly attack KO, but KO turned around and caught him. There was a little face-off between them, and then Sami Zayn slipped away to the outside. Nice little ending here to build up the match coming up on SmackDown December 30th. And all in all, a good final Raw for 2022. They're taking next week's Raw off, and they use this show to build up December 30th and January 2nd. And we had some good moments on the show. So overall, I give it a B. And I thought it was a very solid Raw for a 3-hour show. And I liked the stuff with the Bloodline. It was a Bloodline-heavy Raw, and go figure, it was better than usual when you put the Bloodline out there in a lot of segments and kept it interesting. I enjoyed Raw. So thank you all for tuning in tonight, and thank you for watching and supporting NoDQ over the past year and beyond. Thank you for making this a great 2022 for the website. I will be back Thursday night for the NoDQ review with the panel. Make sure you guys tune in for that, and then we'll be taking the Christmas week off, and then we'll be back after that for SmackDown on the 30th, and then we really start to kick into high gear with the Royal Rumble pay-per-view build. Oh, and I forgot, AEW Dynamite this Wednesday. So Dynamite's still going on as usual, Wednesday night live Dynamite, and then they'll be back the next Wednesday after that. Stay tuned to NoDQ for all the latest news and rumors. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. Enjoy your holidays, whatever you celebrate, and I will see you all next time. Say yes to NoDQ.com, and that's all for now.